Let's begin with section 10.1, which answers the question, what is a price, and discuss its importance in today's fast-changing environment. So, what is a price? A price is the amount of money charged for a product or service, or the sum of all values that customers exchange for the benefits of having or using it. When setting price, companies must consider three main strategies, including customer value-based pricing, cost-based pricing, and competition-based pricing. Now, let's look at the figure major considerations in setting price. On the left, the product cost set the price floor, the lowest price without losing money. No profits below this price. On the right, consumer perceptions of value set the price ceiling, the highest price customers will pay. No demand above this price. In the middle, competition and other external factors include competitor price, marketing objectives, and market demand. Overall, this figure shows that pricing is a balancing act. Cost set the minimum, customer value sets the maximum, and competition decides where the final price should fall. Now, moving on to customer value-based pricing. This means setting price based on buyers' perceptions of value rather than on a seller's cost. Companies start with customer asking, what is this product worth? And set a price that matches that perceived value. There are four variations of this approach. Good value pricing, balance of quality and service at a fair price. High-low pricing, high everyday price with frequent promotions. Value-added pricing, adding features or service to justify higher price. Everyday low pricing, a constant low price with few discounts. All focus on increasing perceived value, not just cutting price. Next, the metrics setting price and market efforts. The vertical axis shows product price, low to high, and the horizontal axis shows marketing expenditure from low to high too. It has four quadrants. High price and low marketing means that no unit sales, customers aren't motivated to buy. High price and high marketing is feasible. Strong marketing supports high perceived value. Low price and low marketing is feasible too. Simple and efficient for cost-conscious markets. And low price and high marketing, no unit contribution. That means marketing costs wipe out profit. So, feasible strategies lie diagonally. High price and high marketing or low price and low marketing. This warns managers that pricing and marketing efforts must match to stay profitable. Finally, let's compare cost-based and value-based pricing. In cost-based pricing, firms start from the product, calculate costs and a markup, and get the selling price. A product-driven approach focuses on cost recovery. In contrast, value-based pricing starts with customers, identifies what they value, set the acceptable price, and then design a product and cost structure to deliver that value profitably. A customer-driven method. Now let's move on to section 10.2, which explores the strategies in more detail and how they connect to cost, customer, and competition. Cost-based pricing sets price from the total cost plus a fair return for effort and risk. Types of costs include fixed costs, don't change with production, like rent and salaries. Variable costs vary with production, materials, packaging, and total cost means fixed plus variable. Figure A and B show the short-run and long-run cost curves. At first, costs fall with higher output, economies of scale, then rise after a point, diseconomies of scale. Experience curve. With experience, average cost per unit decrease, allowing firms to lower price while staying profitable. Cost plus or markup pricing means that adding a standard markup to cost. Advantages of this is simple, predictable, and seen as fair, while the disadvantages is ignores the demand and competitors. In a break-even analysis figure, the x-axis is units sold, the y-axis is dollars. The total cost line start above zero, which is the fixed cost, and the total revenue line start at zero and rise with sales. They intersect at the break-even point, or also as known as the BEV, break-even volume. This shows that exact number of units need to cover all costs. The formula is BEV equal fixed cost divided by the amount of revenue per unit minus variable cost per unit. This equals fixed cost divided by unit margin. Below this point is lot, above this point is profit. Next, competition-based pricing means setting price based on competitor actions, market price and offerings. In competitive industries like airlines or electronics, firms observe rivals and choose whether to price above, below, or at market average to maintain share and relevance.
Now I will talk about the third objective of Chapter 10. It's identify and define the other important external and internal factors affecting a firm's pricing decisions. First is overall marketing strategy, objectives, and mix. It includes target costing. It means pricing that start with an ideal selling price, then target cost that will ensure that the price is met. The second one is organizational consideration. There are pricing in different types of market. Under pure competition, the market consists of many buyers and sellers trading in a uniform commodity, such as wheat, copper, or financial securities. Under monopolistic competition, the market consists of many buyers and sellers trading over a range of prices rather than a single market price. Under oligopolistic competition, the market consists of only a few large sellers. In a pure monopoly, the market is dominated by one seller. The demand curve is a curve that shows the number of units the market will buy in a given time period at different prices that might be charged. There's a demand curve shown in the picture beside. Price elasticity of demand is a measure of the sensitivity of demand to changes in price. And the other factors is the economy and other external factors. Move on to Chapter 11. It's pricing strategies, additional consideration, and it contains 5 objectives. I will talk about the first objective is describe the major strategies for pricing new product. Pricing strategy evolve as product move through the life cycle. The introductory stage is particularly critical as companies must decide how to price a new product to achieve their goals. There are 2 broad pricing strategies for new products. It's market skimming pricing and market penetration pricing. I will talk about market skimming pricing. Setting high initial prices to target early adopters and maximize revenue from willing customers. For example, Apple's iPhone pricing strategy. The initial price is $599, targeting tech-savvy and affluent customers. Prices gradually drop over time to attract broader audience, like $99 for 8GB models. The conditions for success is the product quality and image justify the high price. Production costs for small volumes are manageable, and competitors cannot easily enter the market or undercut the price. The second one is market penetration pricing. Setting low initial prices to quickly capture market share and attract a large customer base. For example, IKEA's strategy in China. They are initially offer freebies, such as air conditioning, clean toilets to attract customers. Slash prices to the lowest globally, like 70% below prices in other markets to compete with local knockoff. As a result, it captured 43% market share and achieved 25% sales growth in China. The conditions for success are the market is highly price sensitive, production and distribution costs decrease with higher sales volume, and low prices deter competitors and sustain the price advantage. Moreover, market skimming pricing is ideal for premium products with loyal early adopters, while market penetration pricing is better for capturing mass markets quickly. Both strategies require careful consideration of product quality, cost structure, competitions, and customer demand. Apple's iPhone and IKEA's China strategy exemplify how pricing decisions can shape market success, emphasizing the balance between profitability and customer acquisition.
Product mix pricing strategy. Product line pricing different products within the same line to target diverse customer segment. They have some key consideration here are align price with cost structure and perceived value. use type pricing to capture different market segments. Optional product pricing, that is selling accessory or optional products alongside with a main product. For example, car buyers can add GPS or Bluetooth systems. Some challenges we consider here are design with features to include in the base price and which offer as add-ons, balance cost and perceived value to avoid deterring customers. Captive product pricing, that is selling a main product cheaply and high margin complementary products like razor blades, printer, ink, batteries. Risk over-reliance on captive product can lead to major customer resentment, printer user dissatisfaction with this practice. Balancing main and captive product price is critical to avoid losing market share. By product pricing, leveraging byproduct of production to offset costs or generate revenue. Benefit of this are turn waste into revenue or enhance sustainability and cost efficiency.
Next, I'll talk about part 11.3, price adjustment strategies. First is discount and allowance pricing. You can offer reduced price or allowance, for example, cash discounts or trade discounts, to encourage purchases. For example, trade discounts. We can reduce price for bulk purchases of the product. For example, 5% off for the orders over 100 units. And cash discounts, you can offer a lower price for immediate or faster payment. For example, 2% discount if paid within 10 days. And allowances, partial refunds or rebates for defects or returns. This overall can increase sales volume, clear excess inventory, or reward loyal customers. Segmented pricing. We can charge different prices to different customer segments based on their willingness to pay. For example, you can lower price for students, with higher price for premium products, and discounts for repeat customers. The key considerations of these are segmentation criteria, for example, age, income, geography, and avoiding price discrimination that could potentially alienate customers. Next is psychological pricing. Using pricing tactics to influence consumer perception of value. For example, charm pricing. We can charge $9.99 instead of $10. Penetration pricing, low initial price to attract customers. And bundling, selling multiple items together at a discounted price. This can create the illusion of affordability or exclusivity. Next is promotional pricing. We can temporarily reduce price to boost sales or clear inventory. For example, Black Friday discounts, coupons like buy one get one free, and clearance pricing, marking down seasonal products. This can drive short-term traffic and or urgency. Next is geographical pricing. We can adjust price based on location to account for cost or market conditions. For example, adding delivery fees for international orders, regional pricing, and lower price in developing regions. This can offset transportation, taxes, or local competition. Next is dynamic pricing. Real-time price adjustments based on demand, supply, or customer behavior. For example, ride-sharing apps surge pricing during peak hours. Airline strikes are priced higher during holidays, and price charge changes based on browsing history or cart abandonment. This can maximize revenue while remaining competitive. Next is international pricing. Pricing strategies for global markets, considering factors like exchange rates, tariffs, and local competitions. For example, price localization. Adjusting price for different currency. For example, USD to Euro. Tariff adjustments, adding costs to imported goods. Market specific, lower price in emerging markets to gain market share. The key challenges of these are currency fluctuations and unpredictable change of exchange rate, cultural perception of value, and lastly, compliance with local regulations.
Following that, we have price changes. First part is initiating price changes, which is when companies may adjust price via cuts or increases to adapt to market conditions or competitive pressures. The first one is price cuts, price increases, then the two other parts are price the customer's reactions to price changes and the competitors' reactions. So first, we'll go to price cuts. Reasons can include excess capacity, failing demand, or cost leaderships, which may risk include triggering price wars. Following that, we have price increases, which is usually driven by cost inflation or over demand. And so company must avoid perceptions of price gouging the customers by transparently communicating what they're trying to do. And next, we have buyers' reaction to price changes. So they can either interpret the change as the, they might interpret the increase as uh, the increase or this product is exceptionally luxurious or a signal of quality decadence. And the price cuts will imply better value or reduced quality. Their reactions may vary. So brand names is closely tied to pricing, and price cuts can dilute perceived exclusivity. Lastly, we have competitor reactions to price changes. And competitors are more likely to react in markets with fewer firms, informed products, and informed buyers. Predicting reactions requires analyzing competitors' motivations and their size or market positions. And if they match price changes, others may follow. And so potentially maybe leading to an industry-wide adjustment. Next, we have responding to the competitors' price changes, which there could be several strategies to react to this, which can be price matching, enhancing perceived value, and creating fighter brands. For fighter brands, we need to be cautious because it may cannibalize the mainline brands, as illustrated here. Next is public policy and marketing. The first part is pricing in channel levels, which pricing practices that occur within the same level of distribution channels. So these often illegal practices involve collusion, predatory pricing, or unfair competition at the same stage of supply chain. So first we have price fixing, which is a collusion between competitors to set to make to agree to a set price, which is illegal under the Sherman Clay Act in the United States. As we can see here, example could be the OPEC, the oligopoly, and sometimes airlines scoring ticket prices, and the consequences are understandably severe. Next, we have pricing across channel levels, which is pricing practices that involve different levels of the distribution channel, like manufacturers setting prices for retailers or retailers setting prices for consumers. So these practices often involve price discrimination, deceptive pricing, or regulatory scrutiny. First of all, we have price discrimination, which is selling the same product at different prices to different buyers, which is prohibited under the relevant Patent Act unless justified by cost differences or market conditions. Then we have retail price maintenance, which is a collusion between several top retailers prohibiting other retailers from selling products below a set price, which is also the Robinson Patent Act and many United States state law. And then we have deceptive pricing practices, which is basically misleading consumers about price or savings, which is not prohibited but heavily regulated by the Federal Trade Commission's Guide Against Deceptive Pricing and State Laws. And so the conclusion is companies should try to firstly use data analytics to optimize pricing strategies while avoiding legal rules and adhere to federal and state laws, avoid doing all of those previously listed practices, and clearly communicating their pricing terms. That's it. Thanks for your attention.